day, my plant foldies. This is Richie at Grow Folds, and today we will be big box store plant shopping at Lowe's out in Plano, Texas. It is a beautiful late afternoon shopping excursion, and you already know I want to take all of you guys plant shopping today. As always, please make sure you are pressing the thumbs up or like button for this video. It definitely helps push this content out to more plant lovers like yourself, as well as following me on Instagram at Grow Folds. We are going to be doing some shopping, but before we get into that, check this product out. And foldies, have you ever heard of this new soil called Classy Rabbit, which is from a local small business out in McKinney, Texas? Really excited to share with you this new soil, which is 100% organic. What I love about it is that this is a standalone type soil. You don't have to mix orchid bark or other amendatives that actually make this soil chunky. It is already chunky, light, and fast draining. You can use it to improve your existing soil. What I also like about it is they are made by farmers, so they don't really consult like soil scientists or whatever that means. They really know what Mother Nature has in the soil, and what I like about it is I've been able to pot up a lot of my plants from overseas, and they have really acclimated to this soil. I love the fact that, again, it is 100% organic, and the ingredients that we have would be rabbit manure, composed food waste, pine bark chips, mycorrhizae, dried molasses, pumice, and expanded shale, rice hulls, and yucca extract. So all of those ingredients really make this soil. It is balanced, and what I love about it is Classy Rabbit products are simple where it counts, smart where they matter. So that means all of the ingredients that the soil needs, it's right there. They don't need to add anything else, and they don't offer anything that they don't need. I also love the fact that Classy Rabbit is priced well, where it's a happy medium between the low prices of cheap, and when I say cheap, quality, and the high prices of unnecessary ingredients. It kind of balances it both. And if you see right here, I potted this aglaonema up in a terracotta planter. You can see how fast draining it is as I put a bunch of water into the soil. You can see that it is literally just draining through, but just because it's fast draining, it doesn't mean that it doesn't retain moisture. It definitely does. But I love the fact that I don't have to worry about adding any perlite, because this particular soil doesn't have perlite. It has all natural ingredients. So for those that have never heard about Classy Rabbit, please go to classyrabbit.com. I highly endorse this soil. I love it so much. And even though I've been doing semi-hydroponic substrates like Lechuzapon and Leca, I've actually been converting all of my plants back to soil because of this particular soil. They do offer free shipping at classyrabbit.com. Let me know in the comment section if you're interested, and hopefully you will support Classy Rabbit. I mean, have you pooped on your plants lately? I would. And for the plant foldies that have actually put orders into Classy Rabbit, thank you for doing that. I love supporting local small businesses out in the McKinney, Texas area. I am based out in North Dallas, so it's always nice to see what kind of influence we have in terms of just supporting small businesses. But as you can see right here, plant foldies, I am going to be taking you to this Lowe's with spring just making it to us. I am so excited to show you not only the indoor tropical plants, but also the outdoor gardening plants. I've already looked at some of my Japanese maples, my outdoor garden, and things are looking really good for me in terms of my outdoor plants. So I will be showing you that. But as you can see right here, plant foldies. And for those that are new to the channel, I actually call my viewers and subscribers plant foldies. Welcome to the channel. My name is Richie, and I do daily 1-hour plant shopping videos with a live premiere chat that typically starts at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. So if you want to chat with some other plant lovers, if you want to be part of such a positive, fun, consistent community online, definitely join us during a live premiere. But as you can see right here, I'm just walking around and showing you all of the plants that they have, as well as the planters. And I am a huge fan fan of terracotta planters. So in case you didn't know, earlier I was actually converting a lot of my plants to semi-hydroponic substrates like lechuza pon and leca, but ever since I discovered Classy Rabbit soil at PlantCon 2025 in Orlando, Florida, I have really started to get back into growing a lot of my plants into soil substrates. Not to say that semi-hydroponic substrates are not a thing for me. They definitely are for specific plants. But, as far as these planters, for instance, I would definitely start to look more about these planters because I do intend to grow a lot of my plants, whether it's my indoor tropical plants or my outdoor patio plants, in substrate like soil. But we're going to just keep looking at what we have over here. You can see that I am just showing you some of these planters. And
hey guys, I'm Janae from Janae Simone.
I'm Steve from LiveTrends.
And I am Richie from Growfolds, and we are
Cultivation Corner. We are so excited. We have a plant podcast. We talk about any and everything, all things plants, and we premiere every Tuesday, 7:30 p.m. Central Standard Time on YouTube at cultivation_corner. So be sure to tune in and watch us.
Follow us also on Instagram, and be sure to share our videos and our episodes with all of you plant lovers. We need more cultivators, right,
Yes.
Steve?
Yes, we do. So what are you going to do? You're going to share the video.
You have
what you're
to.
gonna do.
Have to. Today. All right, guys.
Today.
We'll see you on the next one. I had to slip in the Cultivation Corner Plant Podcast show commercial with Janae Simone and Steven of I Live Plants. I am just really excited to be part of that plant podcast. It is one of the first plant podcasts that have made it into YouTube. And I did want to say thank you to all of our viewers and subscribers. We call them the cultivators. So Plant Foldies, you guys are full force representing us on the Growfolds community at the Cultivation Corner YouTube channel. So definitely, please go to the Cultivation Corner YouTube channel, subscribe. There are almost 13,000 plant foldies on my channel. Can you please, if you haven't already, and I know you've seen all of these commercials, search the YouTube account and search Cultivation Corner. Please go ahead and subscribe to the Cultivation Corner Plant Podcast. I am part of it with Janae Simone, Steven of I Live Plants. We have season 2 underway. 7:30 p.m. Central Standard US time is when we premiere new episodes. So I would love to see our plant foldies really increase that number. We're hoping that we can get all 13,000 plant foldies to go over to the Cultivation Corner YouTube channel, because if you guys want to support me on my main channel, I would hope that you guys would also support me on all of my other plant projects. The plant podcast is a lot of fun because I get to talk about, plant subjects with my really good friends, Janae Simone and Steven of I Live Plants. We are all based out in North Dallas. So for all of our local plant foldies, represent the DFW area. We've got a strong, and when I say strong plant community, we definitely do. There was a plant swap that I attended last weekend that I was able to get some footage of, which I will show you in a future video. But right now, as you can see right over here, I am just walking around showing you all of the Phalaenopsis orchids, that are from Costa Farms and other big box store nursery providers. You can see that Phalaenopsis orchids are always available no matter what time of the year, what season, and I just love the blooms. Look at how gorgeous these are, and I'm just going to walk around and keep showing you that. As far as Costa Farms, again, Costa Farms is just such an amazing nursery provider for all of these big box store plants. They have every type of plant you can possibly think of. They just recently released Costa Farms glow-in-the-dark petunias, as well as the Costa Farms Burley Marks Flame Monstera. That is all super exciting. But as you can see right here, Costa Farms also has some Phalaenopsis orchids. Now with Phalaenopsis orchids, they are really known to be more so better with neglect, meaning you don't really want to overwater them. You want to just provide them some bright indirect light. If you're going to put them in a substrate, they need to be an orchid bark. Never plant a orchid in soil substrate because the roots will actually rot. Orchids in general are what you would call epiphytes, which are basically plants that attach themselves on trees or something of that nature instead of actually growing into the soil substrates. But as you can see right here, we've got Phalaenopsis orchids, we've got Dendrobium orchids, and it is just a sea of beautiful colors. So we're just gonna keep walking around this Lowe's location, and I did want to ask everybody that watches my plant YouTube channel videos, not only am I asking you guys to press the thumbs up or like button, you know, there are hundreds and, you know, we will even get 1,000 viewers that will watch the channel, but only less than like 100 likes. And I'm just saying, you know, asking you guys, why would you not want to press the thumbs up button for the video? I worked super hard to make this content, and that alone really helps push this content out to more plant lovers like yourself. It is just one way to say thank you to the creator if you just hit that like button. But anyways, let me get off of that soapbox. You already know Plant Foldies. If you've been watching my videos, I'm very transparent. I'm very direct to the point. And I'm repetitive. You know, that's something that is just part of my personality. I just love the fact that making these daily plant shopping videos, I could literally talk to you guys directly as if you were to see me in person. And yes, I know some of you guys are still curious as to why I don't show my face on YouTube, especially since I'm wearing masks on the Cultivation Corner Plant podcast. Like I said, again, some people are more comfortable remaining a little bit more anonymous on social media, because you have to think, whenever you post something on social media, whether you delete the post, delete the video, delete the comment, it is forever out into that online space. And sometimes you want to create that that line in the sand where you have a clear separation of your social media presence and your daily everyday life. So again, you know, somebody had asked me or left some comments to ask me why I remain faceless. That's really it. If you were to meet me in person, I'm telling you, ask any plant foldie that has met me in person at like PlantCon. I am the silliest person. I will talk your ear off. I have a really loud personality, and you know, maybe you not seeing my face may not necessarily radiate that, but trust and believe, I love to have a good time. I am all about good vibes only. You already know, if you're going to be negative on this channel, you will not be welcomed here. I always tell people, you know, you can leave feedback or critiques, but do it in a way that's constructive. It's beneficial and value added versus just coming on somebody's social media space and just not being kind. And, you know, I think that that's really the biggest part, or the biggest take back, as far as like going and and taking you guys alongside with me to go big box store plant shopping, is kindness is free. We all need to be kind. We need to all be the biggest cheerleaders we can possibly be for each other as we continue to grow together and to grow plants and see how our collections really thrive. But like I said, again, you know, going right after work, I love to go plant shopping, film all of these plants, show you what plants that Costa Farms has. I mean, you can see right here, this one is for $19.98. This is a beautiful Dracaena. It's got that green on green coloration. Really love the color of this plant. And, you know, it is a larger foliage plant, but it's one that I would still recommend for anybody that is a beginner in terms of an easy to care for plant. And you can just see the sea of all of these different types of plants. Like, it is already spring. Can you believe spring 2025 is here? We are ready to go shopping. We are ready to go plant shopping. I think Plant Foldies, you guys are ready to show your shopping hauls, your plant hauls, your collections. You know, leave it in the comments what plants you've actually bought recently to start off your spring season. I mean, $19.98. You can get some really inexpensive, cheap, budget-friendly plants from Costa Farms. So highly recommend Costa Farms. You know, people always have their opinions in terms of whether you should buy plants from big box stores or should you support small businesses. I would say there is plenty of business for everybody. There are hundreds of plant lovers. I would say diversify the sources of where you buy your plants, because I am a huge supporter of small businesses and local businesses, but I also support big box store plant shopping, because like this right here, $19.98 for a Ficus elastica burgundy. That is a really nice, cost-effective plant, and look at the size of this plant. Now, as far as care tips of a Ficus elastica, any type of rubber tree plant, you need to provide it with a lot of bright indirect light. right? Water it consistently to the point where when the soil dries out, just water it and you should be good to go. And you can see over here, plant foldies, we have some yucca plants. I don't really know a lot about yucca plants, but I will say that the price is still right, $19.98 by Costa Farms. One of my biggest dreams is to be able to tour the Costa Farms nurseries where all the magic happens, where all of these plants are grown. I was able to tour Gabriella's plants and Ecuagenera when I went to Orlando, Florida, but maybe when I make it back to Florida at some point, maybe I can get with the Costa Farms team and be able to really see their facilities, because like I said right over here, look at that. That's just a full aisle of beautiful, lush, healthy houseplants from Costa Farms. But you know, whenever you go to Lowe's locations as well, you will see plants from LiveTrends Design and also Urban Jungle Plants, which we will touch base on. But right now I'm just going to show you some more of these Phalaenopsis orchids for $20.98. You can see they've got the teacup versions right over here as well. These are super cute. And you know, as far as the blooms of orchids will bloom for about a month or two, and you really want to just try to underwater them. Overwatering them will actually result in root rot, so it's better to just underwater them, meaning you don't have to water them nearly as frequent. Now, in terms of repotting a Phalaenopsis orchid, I would wait until the blooms are done blooming, as in they're spent, because a lot of the plant is exuding a lot of energy to maintain the blooms. And so if you take a plant and repot it, a lot of it ends up being stressful for the plant, and so that energy kind of gets divvied up a little bit. So it's always better to just repot a Phalaenopsis orchid when it is out of bloom. And this is super cool. And here is an example of why Costa Farms plants are cost effective. Look at this, $9.98. You are finding a variegated Phalaenopsis orchid, which is amazing. I actually have a variegated Phalaenopsis orchid. I love that the leaves are variegated. It has that yellow margin, and that makes it a little bit more interesting. There's more leaf interest when the blooms are gone, and that's the reason why I'm a fan of variegated Phalaenopsis orchids or orchids, because once the blooms are gone, there's still a little bit more interest in the leaf foliage versus it just being a green leaf. However, like I've mentioned in a lot of my videos, I am all about going back to the basics, going back to admiring the beautiful green plants. I know that, you know, variegated plants are a thing. Everybody gravitates toward a variegated plant, myself included. But I feel like we lose the essence of, you know, actually admiring the plants for what their natural inclination is in terms of growth. And that is the green version of the plant that is a little bit more hardy, the plant that's a little bit more vigorous in their growth pattern. So for me, I really want to recommend plants that are easy to care for and hardy, which would mean most of the time it's going to be the green version of the plant. So let me know in the comment section, plant foldies, what you think of my analysis in terms of that, my recommendations, because right now we're looking at LiveTrends Design, $16.98 for these awesome ceramic planters. This is an Epipremnum aureum marble queen, or better yet, marble queen pothos or pothos, however you want to say it. I have to ask that question. How do you say pothos? Do you say pothos? Do you say pothos? Or do you say Epipremnum aureum? Please leave that in the comment section below. And I'm going to call out some plant foldies. You know I'm asking for the comments, but I haven't really seen a lot of you guys leaving those comments. I feel like I am only just talking to myself, which is okay because I feel like you guys are still tuning in, but I really would love that engagement. So leave in the comments how you say pothos. Is it pothos? Is it pothos? Or is it Epipremnum aureum? I prefer to say Epipremnum aureum. It just sounds a little cooler, but you know, let me know in the comments section. But as far as the LiveTrends design, again, what I can say about LiveTrends plants is they have a very distinct look about how they present their plants. It's definitely modern. It's definitely modern contemporary. It's very minimalistic. It's very stylish. It's very just my aesthetic that I like. I really love the look of their planters. I do believe the planter also enhances the plant's beauty. So you can even see right here, this Epipremnum aureum neon, for instance, or neon pothos. It looks beautiful with that teal blue color. And you can see right here, another healthy looking marble queen pothos. I love pothos plants. I am back on my pothos era. And hey, I have to tell you, plant foldies, I am back in love with syngoniums. I just recently got some syngoniums and I put them in semi-hydroponic substrate called leca. I was able to actually get some leca as well as lechuza pon from Peta's Planters. And when you talk about my favorite plant shop in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, it is Peta's Planters off of Casa Linda Plaza. Definitely check out Peta's Planters. You can also buy supplies, plant accessories, and amazing plants at petasplanters.com. She is now able to ship some gorgeous plants. Please support my favorite plant shop. It is also the headquarters of Cultivation Corner filming. That's where we film some of our episodes, and definitely check that out. But, you know, to go back to these plants, look at LiveTrends designs. I mean, look at that gorgeous alocasia. And I am actually wanting to get some more alocasias now that I'm able to source out pon from Peta's Planters, and she sells it for such a good price. And that's the thing, if you're gonna grow alocasia, I would recommend growing them in pon. And the reason why is the care just becomes a little bit more simple. I know I mentioned growing a lot of my plants back into soil substrate, specifically Classy Rabbit. And you know, some people have asked if I'm actually sponsored by Classy Rabbit. No, I'm not officially sponsored by Classy Rabbit. I would just say that you know, an employee of theirs, Parker, who I used to see when he was actually working at a local nursery that I used to film, works for them, and I was really sold onto their soil. So again, I'm gonna plug classyrabbit.com. Check it out because it's free shipping for those soil bags. I would really love for you guys to try it because it's fast draining. You know, they don't really believe in labels when it comes to like things being organic, but let's just say that all of their ingredients does not create, you know, have anything synthetic behind it. And I just feel like with a lot of the plants we grow, for instance, is Raven ZZ by Costa Farms. Look at that. That's such a large plant as well. Beautiful plant. I think plants thrive when things are a lot more through their natural environment. And what I say about that is, for instance, here's a little story, right? I have been converting a lot of my aglaonema into semi-hydroponic substrates, specifically leca. I've noticed that some of my aglaonema, full transparency right here, plant foldies, some of them haven't done as well in that conversion. I didn't realize that aglaonema could become a finicky plant when it comes to getting, fungal diseases. And, you know, whenever you're putting them in a semi-hydroponic substrate, they're exposed to a little bit more moisture and water, and that's not necessarily the best for aglaonema. And that's the reason why, to be honest, I prefer to grow them in soil, because you just let the soil dry out 100% and then water them again, and that is it. You know, there's some plants that, you know, you have to put into semi-hydro just because it's easier. That means you don't have to water them nearly as frequently, and that's the reason why I would say for alocasia, for instance, that is the best bet for that. So we'll see what that all looks like. And you can see right over here, plant foldies. We are looking at some Bromeliads by Costa Farms. Again, now these are for, I think, $13.98. Beautiful coloration on these Bromeliads. I still think that these plants would make great candidates to be mounted on a wooden plank, almost like a staghorn fern. Let me know in the comments section if that is a good idea, if you've ever seen that. But as far as your Bromeliads, these are plants that are typically found at a big box store. So you can go plant shopping. You're always going to find behind these plants. And, for me, I have to say that when I first started doing plant shopping videos, to just really get everybody excited about going out and shopping for plants, I thought that bromeliads were really not that pretty of a plant. But then I started looking at the plant a second or third glance, and I was able to appreciate the beauty of the plant. And I think a lot of times plants are overlooked because we make these assumptions that this plant isn't a trending plant. It's not a variegated monstera. It's not a variegated philodendron, and it's not a plant that costs more than $1,000. So therefore, it's a plant that's not necessarily worthy of a plant collection. But if you slow down and look at the plant, for instance, this syngonium, this pink syngonium for $16.98, you will see that even the minute details of a plant could bring you joy. And for me, I collect certain plants because of the emotional attachment or the emotions that are conjured by the plant, whether it's joy, whether it's suspense, whether it's surprise. And I'm really curious, and I'm going to say this again as I do this plant shopping video, and I really hope more people will be a little bit more interactive in sharing their thoughts in the comment section. But why do you collect plants? What does a plant do for you? Is it an emotional attachment? Is it a de-stressor? Is it something that helps with your daily routines? I'd really love to hear about that. And plant foldies, you already know it is that time of the plant shopping video where I'm going to play the official dance track for our plant foldies. It is called You're on the Beat by DJ Bang Beats. Definitely check out his music at djbangbeats.com. That is my friend Derek who's created it. So what we're going to do is we're just going to be walking around picking up a lot of these exotic angel Costa Farm plants, which actually range from $5.98 like this Fittonia red vein right over here, or $8.98 for the 5-inch planters. But sit back, bop your head, dance, whatever you want to do. But let's just go ahead and have some good vibes only. Let's go ahead and just look at these beautiful plants. See that there are just so many beautiful Costa Farms plants right over here. This one is in an 8-inch hanging basket for $20.84. This one is a Cupid Arrow Peperomia. What a beautiful plant. Look at that variegation. And that's the thing about going to Lowe's. Lowe's is basically the headquarters that just houses so many Costa Farms plants. Take a look at this Croton Mame, for instance. It looks like a plant that is on fire, literally. And it is another plant that I feel like is really underrated. I would say with the Croton plant, it is a little bit more of a challenging plant. You need to give it a lot of light and you need to stay on top of the watering, because if you let it dry out completely for too long, it definitely will drop its leaves. I recently got a Croton Andrew, which basically has like the Albo white variegation. It is one of the more uncommon plants, and it is one that I did not water it and it started to drop leaves. Hopefully it'll come back with some it'll actually recover. But yes, it is a finicky plant. Now this plant right here is another Hedera helix, or what you call the Hedera helix, which is the correct way to say it, or English ivy. This one is the Florida ivy. Look at how sharp the leaves are. It's such a beautiful plant. And as I pan away over here, that's what makes shopping for houseplants exciting. Whenever you're finding a big box store like Lowe's, like this particular Lowe's, you'll be able to find a lot of these plants. And it's really a fortunate thing for me to be living out in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, where a lot of our big box stores are often stocked well. We have some really healthy looking plants. I love the fact that Costa Farms continues to restock all of the big box stores. And with spring coming around, well, actually spring is in full force now. It's officially spring. So happy spring to everybody. It is the second day or third day of spring when this video actually premieres. And I'm just happy to share this journey as well. I love being able to go to a big box store, take you on a daily plant shopping excursion like this, so we can look at all of these plants. Like here is another Epipremnum aureum, golden pothos. Easy to care for plant, budget friendly. This is one that if you are looking to save on your finances, when it comes to shopping, whenever it comes to plant shopping, get yourself a golden pothos. It's a fast growing plant. It's a plant that you can propagate. It is a plant that is definitely going to give you a lot of joy. And it is a plant that Costa Farms plants often stocks all of the big box stores. You can see right over here, we've got a Dieffenbachia, for instance. I want to love Dieffenbachia. Actually, I do love Dieffenbachia, but they're just really hard to grow indoors. The reason that they're a little bit more challenging to grow is because they do require a lot more bright indirect light. They really thrive with a lot of bright light. If you don't give them enough light, they tend to get a little bit leggy, a little bit caney, and then they also prefer higher humidity levels, and you need to stay on top of the watering. There's a little bit more to the care of that plant. Now this right here is a Sansevieria Golden Flame, beautiful Costa Farms plant for $15.98 in a self-watering planter. This is a common plant now that you will see, but it is a plant that you should definitely add to your collection, as well as all of these pothos plants right here, these golden pothos plants. Love this as well. And I have recently gotten back into pothos. I am actually chopping up a lot of my pothos plants. I actually was able to get a Manjula pothos mother plant from Costa Farms. So again, shout out to Costa Farms. I love y'all. Thank you for having me be the winner of the giveaway out in PlantCon 2025. It was like love at first sight when I saw the hanging basket of Manjula pothos. It is growing very well for me, and I'm hoping to propagate from that particular mother plant. I mean, I just can't believe I have a Costa Farms mother plant in my plant collection. And I also can't believe that I'm actually back at collecting syngoniums. You know, syngoniums, I fell out of love with them. They are always going to be my first love. So of course I rekindled my love with this particular plant. And the reason being is I have them growing in lechuza pond, semi-hydroponic substrate, because whenever you grow syngoniums, they're a very thirsty plant. I didn't realize that they needed to be watered a little bit more frequently. They're not as drought tolerant. And if you let them dry out for too long, their health really declines very quickly. However, if you're able to stay on top of the watering, syngoniums grow like weeds, and so I will be collecting some more rare and uncommon syngoniums. Here's the thing, I know some of you guys are gonna roast me in the comments section. I know you guys already, or there's a couple of plant foldies or people who just find my videos that say, Richie, you're super repetitive, or Richie, you go through these cycles. life is all about cycles. Plant collecting is cyclical. And yes, I am back at collecting syngoniums. Does that mean I'm going to go crazy and buy all of the syngoniums I run into? Not necessarily, because Aglaonemas kind of have that. And, I will tell you, I really do have a plant addiction. It's not one that has really impacted me in a negative way. I will say that some of my finances, I may have to scale it back a little bit, because that impulse buy, that plant that just really speaks to you, where you feel like it is a need to buy today. It's not always the case. And for those that actually struggle with any type of addiction, just know that there is help. There are ways to regulate that. And for those that have discovered this YouTube channel and have made it this far into the plant shopping video, thank you for that. Definitely check out the Cultivation Corner Plant podcast. Search YouTube Cultivation Corner. I really need everybody. When I say everybody, if you are listening to my voice, if you are watching my videos, please go ahead and go to the Cultivation Corner Plant podcast, that YouTube channel. I know there are thousands, and I say thousands, of plant foldies. Go ahead and hit that like button for this video, for instance, and also go to the Cultivation Corner Plant podcast, because we actually have an episode that talks about plant addictions. And while I kind of make it a light subject, it can be a serious thing. And I will say, even the ones that are probably watching these videos, it is okay to say that you have a plant addiction. I literally had somebody be extremely rude in the comment section, where they said, Richie, shut up about your plant addictions. Or, let me help you help yourself. No, I don't necessarily need somebody's help to help myself. What I need is everybody to continue to stay positive and kind, but also recognize the fact that it is, something that we need to talk about. We need to recognize that some people are literally addicted to plants. So for those that are listening to me as I go on a slight tangent, as we go big box store plant shopping for these cheap, inexpensive, budget-friendly plants by Costa Farms, I need you to leave in the comment section if you have ever felt like you're suffering from a plant addiction, where you can't stop yourself from buying plants. And spring 2025 is here. Spring 2025 is in full force, and what that means is a lot of these big box stores are gonna have gorgeous plants like this. $16.98 for this syngonium, and this is in a 6-inch planter. This is a Costa Farms syngonium, and you can see that this particular syngonium has been growing at this location for quite a while, because that is a lot of new growth. I was actually tempted to buy this plant, but again, it is all about managing your finances and your impulse buys. My tips for shopping for plants, if you're really trying to be a little bit more mindful and be more responsible about your finances, number one, if you're gonna go shopping with me, or at least shopping, know the particular plant that you have an idea of buying. That's number one. That will prevent you from just picking up a plant that you find super interesting in buying. Number two, do your research on the plant care and the environmental needs of the plant. So for instance, this syngonium, as much as I love it, I have to go put this syngonium in semi-hydroponic substrate, maybe leca or lechuza pond. I would say lechuza pond is the better alternative. It's just a little bit more pricey. But knowing that, I will be able to keep the plant a little bit, or has a higher chance of living in my care. And then number three, set yourself a full budget. So if you're gonna say, I only have $30 to spend, and your budget ends up being $31, no. You're gonna have to make a little bit more of an adjustment when it comes to how many plants you could buy. But I think, having an idea of what plant you're buying, having a set budget of what you're gonna buy, and then also knowing the care tips and doing your research beforehand is gonna keep you from buying impulse buy plants. And I think that's the reason why we end up buying one plant, and then 2-3 weeks later you have 100 plants that you're wanting to try to take care of. I think the trends for 2025 in terms of plant collecting or growing plants in indoor spaces, a lot of people are going to be more curated, more stylish about the plants, more intentional about the plants, versus just buying everything that you pick up. I mean, clearly I'm picking up all of these plants. I may not necessarily be the best influence, especially if you tune in and watch my daily plant shopping videos. As I always want to say thank you plant foldies. And this means a lot to me in the fact that no matter whether I actually produce a new video or you tune into a replay video where I made a compilation of videos into one, I just appreciate that you guys actually invest your free time to engage with me. And that means a lot considering the fact that I do take a lot of effort to creating this content. Just know that as much value as maybe some of you guys get in terms of finding this community, it also brings me value in the fact that, number one, somebody had asked me why I do daily plant shopping videos. Very transparent about this. It is part of my routine. I suffer from OCD. Sometimes I get that anxiety, but whenever I actually got some help, they suggested that I find something that was going to be productive and also routine based. Well, I feel like if I'm going to be able to create a community where we can look at beautiful plants like these aglaonemas that are 50% off right now because they're in the clearance section, and then also have a distinct production in terms of just being able to make this content, then I think this is so much more value for me and also value for those that actually appreciate this community. And I know I say this in every single video, but it really does resonate in the fact that I can film plants, I can show you plants. My plant shopping videos are not the typical YouTube plant shopping videos where you're picking up a plant, I'm going to give you the plant, price, and we move on. I actually can just talk to you freely. And maybe that's not everybody's content. Maybe you don't want to hear somebody just talk. But if you do, I really appreciate it. And I really love the fact that a lot of you guys have always encouraged me to be my most authentic self. I think that that's really important because a lot of times we hear many voices. We hear many people, throw out these words. But at the end of the day, if you feel comfortable and content with what you are presenting for the general public, then there's nothing wrong with that. And I say this because I feel like sometimes people who are into plants can be a little bit of an introvert, but you're willing to talk about plants. Do that. Celebrate the fact that that is who you are as a person. But if you find that thing that makes you happy and makes you want to socialize about plants, then this is definitely the community for you. Spring 2025 is going to bring a lot of nice content. You'll see that there's a lot of these different types of plants. And as far as the plants I'm going to recommend, you already know I will recommend aglaonemas. You already know I will recommend the Monstera deliciosa. This one is by Urban Jungle. Beautiful plant as well. I love the juvenile form. And there's just many different varieties that I would still recommend. But I would say if you're going to start buying plants, for instance, this Philodendron heteroraceum, $19.84 by LiveTrends Designs. Go for the plants that are a little bit more commonly found, because the reason why they're commonly found is because they are performers. They are easier for the general public to take care of. And for the beginners or for those that are just thinking about starting a plant collection, this Philodendron heteroraceum Brazil would be a shoe-in in terms of just adding it into your plant collection. Now, this red Marantha right here by LiveTrends is a little bit more of a challenging plant to take care of because it does require higher humidity levels. You need to make sure that they are stayed, you water them consistently, and they do require a little bit more light. And so I wouldn't recommend that. I would always say any plant that is drought tolerant, low light tolerant are always going to be your best bets as a beginner plant. Now, if you want to venture out into other, plant genuses, I just would say stick with the basics first. Like $13.98, this Urban Jungle plant, for instance, that is a Sansevieria or bird's nest snake plant. And you can see there's a lot of plant products here, tons of Miracle Grow. I do love using Miracle Grow fertilizer. I mean, some people have their opinions about Miracle Grow, but for me, using it for decades, literally decades, Miracle Grow is a very consistent performer, very cost-effective plant fertilizer. If you're going to ask me some of my picks, something that's just all-purpose, go ahead and use yourself some Miracle Grow fertilizer. Now, if you're going to go for more of an organic take, Fox Farm Fertilizers is a great plant product, as well as Weed the Wild Grow Concentrate. So lots of products to choose from, and you'll see as I continue to do these shopping videos, these daily blogs, I will give you my own personal recommendations for that. But let's go ahead and just keep looking at all of these plants that Costa Farms has, and you'll just have to let me know in the comment section which ones you like. They do range from $20.84 for the hanging baskets, $19.84 for the trending tropical ones, and then the self-watering planters in 6-inch planters are going to be $15.98. And you could tell that I've done so many plant shopping videos because I kind of know what the market price is for a lot of these plants currently. And like I said again, plant foldies, especially in the local DFW area, please make sure you are subscribed to my YouTube channel with all the notification bell on. So initially, when you hit subscribe on somebody's YouTube channel, it will only default to personalized notifications, meaning if you don't watch, say, my video after the first video, it may not push it into your feed. So I really need everybody to go back and make sure you hit all notifications. Just click on that icon again, just to make sure you're all notifications, because I wouldn't want you guys to miss the new content. Now, this is one plant that I've been very passionate about getting everybody to add to their collection. $15.98. This is what you call the Aglaonema Red Siam, also known as the Aglaonema Siam Aurora. Beautiful pink stems. This is a low light tolerant plant, drought tolerant plant, inexpensive, budget-friendly plant, one that I would recommend, one that I say is my YouTube mascot, because it's the most basic Aglaonema alongside with the Aglaonema Silver Bay. But it's one that I feel like if you're gonna call yourself a plant foldie, you have to have an Aglaonema Red Siam. So let me know in the comment section if this is something that you will be acquiring this weekend. Last weekend, I mentioned that it was a great time to go plant shopping. Spring is full force. Spring 2025 is here, meaning we all need to go ahead and go plant shopping and buy plants like this. This is a philodendron neon, Heteroraceum neon or lemon lime. Look at that heart-shaped leaf, $20.84. Beautiful plant. You must give it lots of bright indirect light for it to hold on to that neon yellow color. Otherwise, it will be more of a greenish color or even revert all the way back to a deep green. So light is very important for any plant that's yellowish, neon colored. That's what they require in order for them to hold on to that beautiful neon color. So just a little tidbit about that. And let's just keep looking at all of these beautiful plants. Here is a stunning Hydra Helix, or what you call the Hedera Helix. That is the correct way to say it. But if you want to say it the Grow Folds Plant Foldy way, you say Hydra Helix. This one is in an 8-inch planter by Costa Farms. This one is for $20.84. And look at how beautiful the growth is, the variegation, the leaf shape. It's got like a fan looking leaf shape on it. And I just wish English ivy would just act right when it comes to growing them indoors. They are just spider mite prone, very spider mite prone, and that makes them difficult to grow indoors. However, if you grow them outdoors in a planter, not in the ground, in a landscape, they will still grow very well for you. They will actually thrive. I actually had 2 Hydra Helix in the outdoor space. I forgot about them over the winter, and you got to think Dallas had snow, they had ice, but my Hydra Helix actually made it through the winter, and so I could see them recovering. And I think that that's going to be the plants that I take indoors to try to do the Hydra Helix Challenge 2025. For those that are new to the community, the Grow Folds community, we have what you call the Hydra Helix Challenge, where you are supposed to buy an English ivy at a big box store, and you take it home, you write down the date, you bring it home, and you grow it indoors. And basically, you're going to see how long you can keep that English ivy alive in your indoor space. And we'll see if it actually survives for like a month, 2 months, 6 months, a year, or even longer. So try doing the Hydra Helix challenge. If you are a plant foldie, a diehard super plant foldie, and I haven't forgotten, I will be doing a Patreon page, creating a YouTube membership soon. I'm thinking for a monetary monthly payment of like $5, you'll get a lot more content, a lot more daily content, more frequent updates on my Patreon page as well as my YouTube membership. I'm also thinking of creating a Zoom call where you can literally call me at a set time and we can chat all things about plants. I'm also going to show more of my plant collection on my Patreon page and my membership only YouTube feature. Now, as far as my full-blown houseplant tour, you already know that's in production. It's been in production for like more than 2 years. I get it, but it's gonna come. It's coming. But anyways, plant foldies, let me just peel away here and just show you more of these gorgeous plants. You can see we've got tons of Hydra Helix and all sorts of different types of plants. We've got bonsai here. I ended up actually doing a big box store plant shopping video I haven't been able to edit, where I take a Costa Farms Chinese elm bonsai and I repot it in a better bonsai shallow pot. That's another tidbit about me. As a kid, I actually was very much into bonsai. I think it's because I remember watching The Karate Kid, and I remember buying my first bonsai from Target. Yes, Target. As a kid. I think I was in 4th grade when I first got my first bonsai, and I remember trimming it, wiring it, and styling it. And that's another way of growing plants. So as much as I love indoor tropical plants like this one, for instance, these anthuriums, I also love bonsai. I also love Acer palmatum or Japanese maple. So if you are a Japanese maple lover or somebody that loves Japanese gardens, this will definitely be another channel that you should definitely tune into. I actually have playlists, plant foldies, if you're listening. Go through the actual channel and go through my playlist. And I do ask, especially the super plant foldies, the ones that are always in the chats, will you guys check out my my super talent? And that is to be able to fold an origami paper crane in under a minute. I can actually do it blindfolded. There is a playlist of origami paper cranes. Can you guys check it out? And I'll know you actually listen to me asking you when you leave a comment on some of my origami paper crane videos. I'd love for you guys to check it out. That's just something that I'm very passionate about. I mentioned this in a lot of my videos, but one of my biggest goals in life is to be able to fold 1 million, yes, 1 million paper cranes, origami paper cranes. I have been doing that daily, yes, daily, for about 8 years now, going on 9. And again, I am repetitious. I am repetitive. I will say the same thing over and over, but that is just me. That is just totally me. And as you can see, I like to basically tell people that, because to me, being able to just openly talk about your characteristics, who you are as a person, without feeling unapologetic and just being yourself, I think that a lot of people conform to having to fit in or having people want them to like them. And for me, if this is your cup of tea, to see me picking up plants and talking to you about plants or plant care, or even just myself, then this is definitely the channel. And as you can see here, this is a legit plant shopping video, because you've seen lots of different types of plants. You can see right over here, LiveTrends design. This one is for $19.84 in a ceramic planter. You already know how I feel about LiveTrends designs. We're going to take a look at it and I'll show you the plant pricing as well. You can see plant foldies. I've touched base on a lot of these LiveTrends design plants. You can see over here, one of my favorite plants actually is the Dracaena Lemon Surprise. This one is in a self-watering planter for $14.98. I really love the new glaze that they use. And take a look at this yellow planter with an Alocasia cuprea. So yellow and purple are colors that are complementary. So they're on the opposite side of the color wheel. And when you put them together, they really accentuate the colors. I love the deep purple tone on the Alocasia cuprea alongside with that yellow planter. And you can see over here more LiveTrends plants. This one has that pastel green, very much so in the Easter seasonality of the plants. That's what I'll say about LiveTrends designs. Very seasonally relevant planters and display. And that's really why it's important to go plant shopping, or at least looking at different types of nurseries. Whereas like Costa Farms has a lot of these exotic plants, many different varieties. I would say LiveTrends Designs has a really good way of presenting the plants, whether it's a common plant like this ZZ Zenzi, for instance, for $14.98, but the planters are just stunning. And then I'm really thinking about getting this Hydra Helix, this gold baby English ivy. I just love the color, that green on green variegation. This one is for $5.98. Let me know in the comment section, plant foldies, if you would buy this gold baby English ivy and actually do the Hydra Helix challenge 2025. And if you've made it this far into the video, actually, plant foldies, please make sure you are pressing the thumbs up or like button for this video. It definitely helps push this content out to more plant lovers like yourself. Full transparency, whenever I do a live premiere, I really hope you guys will show your love and support by trying to get us over 100 likes in under 24 hours of when the video premieres. I do believe that it helps push this content out to more plant lovers like yourself. I've noticed that any video that gets over 200 views will end up getting like 8,000 views, or 200 likes ends up getting close to like 8,000 views. And that's huge in terms of just getting more undiscovered plant foldies. So that's me just, wishful thinking and really asking you guys for that support. I did want to ask if anybody has any questions about the plants I feature in my plant shopping videos. Leave that in the comment section, whether it is plant care tips, plant pricing, plant recommendation, plant styling, plant budgeting, all of that. I am willing to answer questions, and I just really hope that you guys will engage with me. And then I'm just going to spin around here and just show you a little bit more of the overflow of plants. These are mostly Costa Farms plants again. You can see we've got another Aglaonema Red Siam here. If this is your time to go plant shopping, please get yourself an Aglaonema Red Siam. This one is a LiveTrends design planter for $19.84. I love how that pink planter kind of matches the pink stems of this Aglaonema. As far as Aglaonema care, bright indirect light is the best light you want to put them in. Water when the soil is completely dry. They prefer more chunky, fast draining soil, which I would recommend buying Classy Rabbit soil. Go to classyrabbit.com and order your soil bag today. It is all natural and it is free shipping as well. So definitely try that bag out. Let me know in the comment section if you have placed an order. I definitely want to support my friend Nate and his business as he continues to really evolve his product line. But as I finish this video right over here, I'm just going to pan around and just show you these gorgeous Phalaenopsis orchids. That's another thing. Phalaenopsis orchids by Costa Farms are seasonally relevant. You can find it, and I have a few growing in my plant collection. I have yet to get one to rebloom. I'm hoping that my variegated version does that. But this video was actually really fun to shoot because I was actually having a pretty tough day, but going to a big box store right after work and just filming and then editing this actually makes it worthwhile. It definitely makes it just makes things a lot better. And I don't know if you guys get that same excitement, that same joy being able to just look at plants and enjoy it. I know that as a community, being able to do this on a daily basis where we're chatting with each other and commenting, I just love that as well. So plant foldies, I hope you guys have really enjoyed today's video. As always, please make sure you are pressing the thumbs up or like button for this video. I know I have mentioned it probably 20 billion times in this video. Not really, but you get the gist. It does help this content out, as well as subscribing to my YouTube channel at Grow Folds with all the notification bell on. My name is Richie. I will see you with a brand new video. Yes, a brand new video tomorrow. So definitely stay tuned. 7 p.m. Central Standard United States time, so you can actually join the live premiere chat. I would love for more plant foldies to engage, and as always, I hope you guys will leave some comments too. Bye.